Welcome to Duke's United show, and it's the big one. It's Manchester United versus Manchester City at Wembley for the FA Cup final. Can Manchester United get the second piece of silverware of the season, and in the process, can we stop City doing the treble? Garth, I'm joined by Garth today. Garth, how are you feeling this morning?
Good, man. Yeah, feeling good. I love the FA Cup. Love it, honestly. I always have done as a kid. I mean, back in the day, you used to have the full morning of FA Cup programme. I don't know if you remember that. Like, literally 10 o'clock onwards, it would just be FA Cup coverage. We're gone from them days. Yeah, but excited, mate. Excited. Can we win it? Yes, we can. Will we? That's a different matter entirely. There's just if City turn up, they're so good, man. Obviously, they've got no Edison. It's not as big as a plus for us as you might think, because Ortega's a quality shot stopper.
Yeah,
he just isn't as good with his feet coming out the back. But yeah, I don't know about you, mate, but I'm quietly hopeful that we sneak a win out of this game.
Look,
and let me ask you this: what's more important to you, us winning the FA Cup or stopping them do the treble?
You know what? I don't want them to do it. Obviously, I don't want them to do the treble because I just don't want them to do what we've done. But at the end of the day, people have their times. People do what they're doing, and we had our time. They're having their time. To be honest, I really want us to win. Just to win a cup and win two things and get back to being able to challenge for titles again. So really, yeah, I know we've won the most titles. I know City are killing it. I don't want them to overtake us. And, they're catching us very quickly after, in such a short space of time. They're just winning everything and catching us. So I'm obviously not happy with that. But I'm not so worried about the treble. I'm more about us winning too, to be honest. How about yourself?
I was not worried about them winning the treble at all until now, where it's a reality. Because of how many Arsenal fans I've got as mates, I didn't want Arsenal to win the title just because I couldn't be bothered to listen to them for a year. I might regret that decision now,
Exactly.
But no, I think you put it perfectly, Nathan. I mean, teams have their times. This is their time. They're the best team in the land, if not the world. It's going to be a hard task, but if we can stop them, wonderful. And if that means we get another trophy, even better. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. Like if we can win another trophy, even better. Stopping them winning the treble is the cherry on top of the sundae, ain't it? Like the FA Cup's the important thing. So,
Steve K says, "Good luck, lads. Thank you. You know what? We need everything red today. We need the banners red. No black. Forget that. We need banners red, mate. Red everything. Let's go. Yeah, we need to get this game won. I was just looking. It's funny because we was looking into the past and seeing how we've done. What's Steve saying after what? God, I said I hope you lose. Oh no.
Yeah, sorry, mate. You're just another one of them mates I've got that's an Arsenal fan, Steve. There's too many of you, mate. There's too many of you. Especially this season, you come out of the woodwork out of nowhere. Not yourself, Steve. You're born and bred, obviously, mate. But so many Arsenal fans I didn't know were Arsenal fans. Just out of nowhere, shirts out again.
You know what's been funny? All I've been hearing is, "We got bigger fish to fry."
Yeah, Robbie. Yeah.
And then get Nick out of him the whole time.
Expressions is one of the funniest dudes on YouTube, man.
So good.
The stuff he comes out with is genius, absolutely genius.
Absolute joker. But look, we can break down what's going on actually, because if you can remember, it's the honours even so far with us versus City. Okay, goal difference, not on goal difference levels, but in terms of win.
About how we held 6 against City. It's like, but it was 6-3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 6-3.
We lost by 3 goals. Like same as City beat Arsenal, like 4-1. Like, conceding 6 is bad, but it's not. It's not 6-0. It's not 7-0. Yeah, like 6-0. You know what I mean? But anyway, sorry, cut off.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. You're totally right. But look, let's look into what City have done in terms of goals. And first of all, what their squad is doing, man. Oh my days. This is the first time I've looked at it, and the team is absolutely trouncing us. Look at that. That's Haaland on 52 goals, 9 assists. We don't even think of him as a person who makes assists, and he's got 9.
That's a lot of. I was just about to say I think that's what Rashford's got, isn't it? 9 assists as well.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a second.
I was bigging Rashford up for getting 9 assists, and he's a winner, mate. Like, that's crazy stats, man. 59 goal contributions. Sorry, no, what's that? 61 goal contributions in 51 games. You're taking the mick, mate. You're taking the mick.
It's just mad. It's just mad. You scored more goals than games. That's all you can see there.
Yeah.
51 games, 52 goals. That's just crazy. Then Julian Alvarez, who's been sitting there in the wings like he's a Solskjaer, bagging 17. Like bagging 17 from the bench. He didn't even play, really. I know he's been involved in 49 of the games, but, he doesn't start. Most of them are not starts. That's why
and when he does come on, he goes on the wing. He goes all over the place as well. He's not always straight through the centre.
And he's got good shot accuracy as well, 64% on target.
Yeah,
that's it.
Everyone said that this kid was special when they signed him. So, you know what I mean? We're seeing it now.
And another one people are just like closing their eyes on is Mahrez. He's a third top scorer. He doesn't even play.
Just saw them stats, 15 and 13 for Riyad Mahrez. That's ridiculous stat. I didn't realise he was on them sort of numbers, mate. You know what I mean? I thought he was more on a 6 and 6 sort of thing. But yeah.
And this is the mad one though, Garth. Here's the thing. When you ask who was better, Mahrez or Saka, for example, I love Saka. And then you look at the stats he's been producing. That's the same as what Saka's produced by starting every game. And it's weird. This is what I mean. There's players like Salah, who people haven't even mentioned this year. They're not even mentioning. And he's top scorer. He's up there with the top scorers. Like, why do people not mention these guys? Is that just normal now? Because he just got out of bed and got 30 a season. Just normal.
That's why I do believe that. I believe it is exactly that Mohamed Salah scoring 30 isn't a thing anymore, so they're not thinking about it. It's like listen, I've seen things about how Jack Grealish is apparently the best winger in the league now. Like it's madness. People are asleep. No. Mate, I'd have Mitoma over Jack Grealish.
So would I.
Like, you know what I mean? Look, Grealish is a great player, but to start telling me he's the best winger in the league this season, he's not.
He isn't.
How did he get that
far? How do you get that far ahead thinking he's been that good? Like, he ain't been that good. It's just he's become himself and he's starting to play how he normally plays for City.
I think Man City, you're playing for Man City, so you're already elevated, you know what I mean? It's just that you've won the league. It's one of them things, isn't it, mate? You know what I mean? Like Saka, listen, if you're only taking 2/3 of the season, he's the best player in the league. He really fell off at the end. Tiredness, like he's a young lad, but he's still great player. You know what I mean? For me, the biggest prospect in the league by a long. I think he's going to be a world. He's going Real Madrid in a few years. Sorry, Steve, Arsenal fans, but you know he's that sort of player. Like if not Real Madrid, Arsenal become one of the best teams in the world. He's at the best team in the world, Saka in a couple of years, man. Whoever that is, he's on his like. You know what I mean? If it is Arsenal, he stays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to see him make the next natural progression now, and that's get 20 goals in a season. If he's a 20-goal season man playing the way he's playing, he's gonna be a world player, like playing for any world team, like Bayern, like Barca, like Real Madrid. If he's getting 20 plus goals and them assists, like 15 assists, that's it. It's over. Because the way he plays his football, tremendous. Like he's cutting in, going down the line, crossing balls in, finishing from coming in off the line, hitting right foot shots as well. He's not just left foot. He scores with both feet and he goes both ways. Lovely. Yeah. Absolutely lovely. But right, so City, what was their journey to the final? This was their journey. They started with a 4-0 battering of Chelsea in the third round. Then they got Arsenal in the fourth round and beat them 1-0. I remember that when they kind of played a few of the Rezzies in there, both teams, and City won 1-0. Then fifth round, they got Bristol City, an easy one for them, 3-0. Then they played Burnley and battered them 6-0. Then it was that semi-final. We knew it was going to be a battering when Mahrez gets his hat-trick and, beat Sheffield United and now they're in the final. So when you look at it, it's 2 tough games, like against top Premiership sides, and then 3 other games where it's not really as difficult, if you get what I mean.
Can I just phrase out there, Dave? Chelsea ain't a top team this year, mate. Like,
you're right. 4-1. You're right. But, I mean, you know what I mean? The Premiership team.
I just wanted to dig out Chelsea.
They're Premiership team. That's what I meant.
In all fairness, them first 2 games, that is tough. And even Burnley, who was smashing up the Championship, to Tonkin 6-0 is a statement victory.
Exactly, because we didn't do that. We beat them, but not 6-0. So let's look a little bit into the side that they played in their last game of the season. That was the side they played. We know they're resting their players. That is not going to be the side.
I'll take that team today, all day. I'll take that team.
That's the thing, though, Goff. That team there will be tough to beat if we play.
Yeah, but there's no De Bruyne or Haaland in that team, mate. So I will take that team.
Yeah, but we all know they're likely to pick a side looking more like this.
Yeah,
Absolutely destroyed Real Madrid. You're going to see, but look at that formation. 3 at the back. Stones decided to go in the midfield with Rodri. Then you got Bernardo, Kevin, Gundogan, Grealish, and Erling Haaland. They're probably going to feel like they were playing greatest football ever, kept the ball off Real Madrid like they're nothing. We can do the same. I believe that's what he's going to go with, that team.
Of course it is. Then 100%, mate. And that's yeah, same here, Cole. Same here, mate. That's my problem with this city. This is my problem where, like, in my heart, I'm putting down 2-1 Man United. We can do it. We can win. I said this earlier on, it might have been to you, Kieran, whoever I said to. If Man City turn up, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do.
That's another thing, isn't it, Garth?
Yeah.
Exactly what you said there. We need them to not play well, miss chances, and us to defend real well and get a goal. Like, that's really what we need.
Game. Yeah,
and it can happen.
Perfect match. Yeah,
it can happen because they can crumble in a derby. They can. It does go out the window a little bit because it's a derby, and we'll be really up for it to make sure that we want to win this for more pride than anything. Yeah, and it's a final, so that's the only thing. But you know what? I feel like the Brighton, like the Newcastle, right now. You know, when we play Brighton in the semis, it's in the semis, and it goes to penalties. But we feel like the ones who should win it. Play the Newcastle in the final, we should be the ones that win it. But right now, I feel like a Newcastle fan at that final, playing United, knowing you're probably going to lose, and we have to play well to win. We can win, but are we really going to win?
No, exactly. Do you know what? I was thinking a very similar thing, though, but I was actually putting it back to when we won the treble. We're Newcastle then in '99. Like, realistically, haven't got a chance. But we've got a couple of decent players on the pitch. Alan Shearer might bag a goal for us. You know what I mean? In our case, Rashford, we might win. But in reality, Man City, like I said, after they won the league, they're imperious. They're the best team in the land. Let me ask you this quick question before we move on. I saw it was Boovy and Flex. Does any Man United player get into Man City's starting 11? Any single one of our players, do they get into it?
All right, let's take a look at their starting 11 right now. Okay, so Akanji, Diaz, and Walker. You've got them 3 at the back. Walker, he stays in for sure. Yeah. Diaz, very good defender. He's going to stay in. He's fully fit all the time, and he's at the same levels of them boys at the back. I do believe, like I said, the passing ability of Martinez would be great in this side. But the way they play that 3, I don't know how you fit him in. Do you because Akanji's got a bit more pace as that left-sided player and a bit more strength, but obviously the passing ain't at the levels of Martinez. I would argue that Martinez should be in there. In that left-sided
that was the one. That was the one I went with. Is Martinez or maybe Luke Shaw in there? Maybe Luke Shaw.
Yeah, even Luke Shaw could go in there because he's a proper left back. He'll definitely fit in. Yeah. Then you go with everyone else.
Does Casemiro beat Rodri? Does Casemiro take Rodri's spot? I mean, that's a
no.
Tough
You
one.
don't. I think they're the same levels of player. So you don't take him out of Man City's side, do you? Just to bring him in. They're the same. I wouldn't be upset if someone says Rodri is better than Casemiro, and I wouldn't be upset if someone says Casemiro is better than Rodri. It's just who you prefer, and if you're a United supporter, you take Casemiro. If you're Rodri, City, you take Rodri. But in terms of Grealish versus Rashford, in City setup, I'd take Grealish because he's passing and keeping the ball, and his ability to, do that under pressure is a lot better than Rashford's. Although you're going to get 30 goals a season, you're probably not going to get the football that you see from City right now. They probably lose the ball a bit more, and not really create the same. So, to be honest, I think it's only one player.
That's where I landed, Nathan. That's exactly where I landed, which was like, you can argue Rashford, but when you actually take into what City play, does Rashford, I don't think that comes in. You could possibly have an argument about Bruno versus, not De Bruyne, obviously, but the other one, I can't think who it is.
Gundogan's serious,
Gundogan's right. Yeah. Possible, but again, if
I know what you mean,
you ain't taking him. But
it's the keeping of the ball. It's the keeping of the ball side of things. I think he wouldn't be able to play. It'd be in the squad, but he wouldn't be starting.
But in that first team, the only one I come up with was the left-hand side, which is Shaw or Martinez for Akanji, or Ake, whoever. Yeah. That's the only one I've got, man. That's the only one I've got.
Facebook user says 2-0 Man City. No problem.
Oh, yeah, at least I can see that. That actually. That's what I'm saying about we could be like Newcastle, man. You know what I mean? Like just lose 2-0, don't really turn up. They just play us off the park sort of thing. So
Steve says, do you think someone has the ability or know how to man mark Haaland today? Well, look, we did it last game. We kept him quiet in the game that we won.
But that was Martinez, wasn't it?
Yeah. But we did have Fred running around stopping the balls into him, and Shaw was playing really well. No, Shaw played centre back. We'll have a look at that in a minute as well. So let's just have a quick look into that, and then
let me just follow on from situation today. Do you even man mark Haaland, or do you play?
No.
That's what I was thinking.
Like how we play.
You zonal marking. I know he can't. I just think that Haaland's too good to be man marked. He'll find space easily off you. Like man marking these days, it's such a dangerous proposition.
There's not too many players to mark one player. They're not one-man team. They're an 11-man team. Like
that's the thing. Yeah, you start doubling up on Haaland. De Bruyne just comes slicing through the middle and scores a goal,
and then everyone else is open. Gundogan scores goals. Like they're all
Mahrez.
Stones will bang a shot from 50 yards and it'll go in the end. It's like,
oh God, we're gonna get smashed.
Everybody, mate. Everybody. So yeah, let's take a look at United anyway. Let's turn our attention to Man United. Martinez is out. Van der Beek is out. Anthony Dos Santos is out. And that man called the Glass is out as well.
Mr. Glass.
He's called Unbreakable. That's his name. Unbreakable. Anyone not seen the movie Unbreakable, go and watch Tony Marshall starring in Unbreakable. Type it into whatever you got.
That's Bruce Willis, Unbreakable. He can't be broken. He's like you said, he's Mr. Glass, mate. He's the same.
No, it's called Unbreakable because it's Samuel Jackson, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but Bruce Willis is unbreakable. That's his. He can't die. Samuel Jackson's Mr. Glass because he's
the opposite. Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Mr. Glass, mate. Yeah, that's what I thought you go. Yeah, Mr. Glass.
Well, I actually didn't even think. I didn't even know. I heard the name.
Yeah, you just said that's why I thought you were going for it, mate. That's where I thought you were going. It's just great film.
That's what I wanted to anyway.
Yeah, great film, by the way, Unbreakable. Make sure you give that a watch. One of Chalamet's best, that is.
Great movie.
You know, there's 2 sequels to it now as well.
Is it?
Yeah, man. It's a film called Glass, which is literally about him, and then there's the one with James McAvoy. I forget what that's called as well.
I'll have a look.
Anyway, sorry.
United, instead of having the top 3, I've gone for the top 4 because I want to erase Anthony Martial out of my mind nowadays. Rashford's on 30 and 9 assists. As you can see, he's played 55 and scored 30. Still good return, of course.
A great return.
Bruno's got 13 and 13 in 58. And then obviously you got Anthony, who's injured as well, on 8. And Tony Martial on 9. So yeah, looks like those 2 are not going to be involved. So we're looking to the next one down, who's probably Fred on about 7. So I don't know.
Yeah, Anthony's going to be a big miss, Nate. I really think for this system and this team, like it's going to be a big miss, bro. It really is.
You know what? He is.
Do you know what? Yeah.
But I think we're going to have a bit more of end product to our game. And if you see Sancho on the right or Bruno on the right, you're going to get the ability to play the balls, better quality balls with the right foot. And that's how the ball usually gets out there. And then you got to use your right to put it in. So if it was left-footed and it was great, he was more like Saka is now, because Saka started off like not really the greatest left foot. And now he's just hitting targets all the time, like crossing balls in quality balls at all times. So if we can get that out of him next season, then we'll really miss him a lot more. But right now, I feel like Sancho on the right is actually better. Remember when even before I was saying he's going to be better. I think he's better, but he's only just starting to show it. Obviously, he's only been 1.5 games. But I'm really, really excited to see Sancho play on the right today. I don't want to see him on the left again, ever. I know Bruno's going to probably go up one of them places, and I'm just hoping that he doesn't put Sancho back on the left and then we lose out on a player, because he's no longer a player when he goes on the left. And that's that's what's just really bugging me about this team today. It's like we've got to have all our players able to be at their best. I think Bruno's more capable of playing in out of position and actually still contributing then Sancho playing that
So
position.
we're clearly both putting him on the wing in our teams then, because that's how I've done as well. Let me just quickly before we move on. Let me ask you this about Anthony. Someone was trying to tell me that he's a flop this season. I don't think he's a flop. He hasn't impressed as much as I would hope. But 11 goal contributions in 44 games, 1 in 4 for your first season. Don't speak the language in a different team. I don't think that's horrific. It ain't great, but I don't think it's that bad. 8 goals, 3 assists in 44 games. I don't think that's horrific, man. I don't think he's a flop.
He's not a flop. That's not the word to use. I think that's going a level or 2 down. I think he's had an average season in terms of what you can expect, what you want to see from a player who comes in, even if it's not even that amount of money. I think Malacia has had a similar kind of season in terms of what you expect from him and what he's given. He's been good, and but the thing is, that's what we expected from a 14 million player or something like that. You come in at 90 minutes expected to like make our right side there and done. We don't need to ever think about the right side for the next 10 years.
Exactly.
It's not happening. We need to think about the right side next season. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm thinking, no, you shouldn't have to bring in that amount of player and then still thinking about, we might need to change it next year, So that is, but just might need to, because he had been improving throughout the season. So if he continues improving next year, then you've got a player on your hands. So
I know exactly what you mean, Nath. It's one of the things. If a world-class right-sided player came on the market and we could get him, we should get him. But it's not a disappointment to me to have Anthony and Sancho as our right-wing options for next season, with Ahmed there as well, Palestri there as well. You know what I mean? I can deal with that. But I know exactly what you mean. I mean, he's left-sided, obviously. But if someone like Vinicius Junior came up, then obviously, there's a different matter. It's
even Coleman. Even if
Coleman, exactly.
Fit, you get him in all day long. All 100%. Day long.
Yeah,
he's way better.
100%. Yeah,
it's just his end product is way better. That's the difference. The thing is, I'm starting to see a little bit of what I expected. Remember, I was saying I expect to see Rashford and Garnacho with Rashford being the main man, and I expect to see Sancho and Anthony with Sancho being the main man, because I think he can produce more consistently than Anthony will. And then it's a case of him having to push himself to get better to then be the main man, and that's where you're going to see the acceleration in his abilities and his growth. And if you don't have that, and then you go Ahmad. So it's a fight between 3, hopefully. I'd love to see Ahmad be involved in the rotation next year. But
I think he's got to be. I think you send Palestri out on loan and you bring Ahmed back and give, because you can't have 4 of them, especially with Garnacho there as well. You know what I mean? And we've still got Elanga as well. Although we might sell it. I hope so. That's a 15 mil player there with 20 mil all day.
Get him sold, similar kind of money as Maguire. Get him sold, 15 to 20 mil. Hopefully get 40 mil between those two. Even then you got Fred, that's another 20, 25.
Well, the rumour today is that Man United are going to offer Maguire as a part exchange for Mason Mount. If Chelsea take Harry Maguire,
that would be lovely. What does Steve say? Competition for Ante will make him play better next season. Yep, needs a good competition though. Someone needs to push him hard. Exactly, Sancho.
Yeah, exactly right, mate.
Right, let's go into
Sancho.
Let's go into United's route to the finals. So we had Everton. We started with Everton as a 3-1 win at Old Trafford. Then we got onto Reading with Paul Ince as the manager. We took them out with the red card that killed Eriksen off.
That tackle from Andy Carroll. Well, that was horrific. But anyway,
that's the one. Then we beat West Ham 3-1 with a rotated side. So that was good. I remember McTominay starting, Garnacho starting, and a few more. And we managed to do a job there. Got to the quarters, played Fulham. Was 1-0 up, then it was 1-1, I think, and then they were looking like they were going to beat us, and then they got a sending off from Mitrovic up front. I believe.
No, they were 1-0 up, weren't they? All the way up until that sending off, bruv.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Then, yeah. They
were 1-0
and then they imploded, bruv, and just
and then we scored from the penalty with the sending off or something like that happened anyway. And then they got mad, and then more people got sent off. So it was crazy. And then the finals, semi-finals, we couldn't get a goal, we couldn't score. Brighton were a better team, to be fair, overall, but we won on pens, and that was what happened. That was a side that we played. We played Dalot right back, we played Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, and played Casemiro, Fred, Sancho on the right, Garnacho left, Bruno and Rashford up front, and it wasn't the greatest of games, but we know we're not going to play with that. Let's take a look at our very last
You know,
game.
I'm just looking at that team though. You know what? We've done very well to get out of that winning on penalties. Like that's not our strongest team by a long way. Like so, yeah.
Look at that team, and then look at the starting lineup we've just had here against Fulham. Isn't that the same starting lineup? Have I not done it right? Have I not done it right? I'm sure that is the starting lineup we had against Fulham. Maybe I've got it wrong. But anyway, this is the team that beat City in the derby game. We beat City and we had Malacia, Shaw, Varane, Wan-Bissaka, and De Gea. So we can play them this game. Casemiro, Fred, they're both available. Bruno, Eriksen, Rashford, available. So only difference is Martial, and maybe Sancho comes in for Martial. That's the team that beat them. That's the team that I think maybe a team that's going to be close to that goes out there and tries to win. But is he going to think Pep kind of has to change something if he's going to go with that? So I'm going to change something. So it might be a little bit of mind games now.
Yeah, double bluffing your own double bluff. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
What do you do, Garth?
I think you go into this not trying to mind battle, tactical out battle Pep Guardiola. So that it makes sense. I don't think you go into this game with Ten Hag trying to out tactic Pep Guardiola. He's the tactical magician. I think you stick with what you know this team can do, and you play your own game. Bless you, sir. You play your own game, and you just try to beat Man City with your own performance, not worrying about what, because Pep's going to do something silly. He always does, you know what I mean? There'll be some random player in some random position somewhere on that pitch, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think we play our game. If we beat once this season with that team you just said, we play our best game, we have a chance. We have a chance, man. So, yeah, not worry too much about what Pep's up to.
Right, then. So, here's the thing then, Garth. You got the floor. Talk to me about your starting lineup. And why you've gone with it, and why you've gone with the score you've gone with.
Because I'm wishful thinking with the score, mate. But anyway,
that's fine, no problem.
I think the back four picks itself still. I think Lindelof's done enough to command the spot centre back over Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's good at centre back, but I prefer him at left back all day. I have gone, because of Martial being out and the fact I hate the Weghorst up front, I've gone with Fred Casemiro in the middle. I did not realise that was the middle we had when we beat him last time. I just think Fred's energy, his disruptive behaviour in the midfield, we ain't just hoping he's going to do well. Eriksen through the centre in the number 10, and then Bruno. I know what you're saying, so I would actually swap them now. Bruno on the left, Sancho on the right. I didn't know I had him like that. That's how I had him. But now you've mentioned it, you're right, Nath. I'd have Sancho on the right, Bruno on the left, Rashford through the centre. 2-1 Man United, Rashford and Sancho. I see you put Haaland in there. That's just given. That's just given, isn't it? You know what I mean? So,
I was thinking you're probably going to say Haaland scored. So.
Yeah, no. And that's how I personally think, with the personnel we've got, that's our best team at the moment. Like, even with Garnacho on the bench, I think that's our best team at the moment.
Yeah, so you're basically saying if we're going to win, that's how we're going to win, and that's how we're going to set up. That's basically what it is, isn't it? Yeah. I've gone for similar. It's funny because, when I asked you, send me your team and that, and I already had my team set up, everything ready, and I'm like, bloody hell, this guy is not messing about. He's thinking about the team. Watch how close we are again, yeah? We're so close. So close. Even with the score, it's ridiculous. I've gone with the hair in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Varane. I've gone with the same back four because I think he's going to want the athleticism of Malacia going up and down on that side and being able to deal with what's his name, Bernardo Silva on that right side. And just because they know they've done it, they got to have that psychological advantage on themselves that we've beaten them with this side. So it gives us a little bit more of that feeling of we can win this. Fred getting back in there alongside Casemiro, that Brazilian connection, to just have rats around so we don't get outdone for legs. Because we know we need legs in this game big time. You don't have legs, you don't win this game, that's for sure. Eriksen, put him in a position where he doesn't have to get back as much, but then you get on the ball, he can find Sancho's runs, Bruno's runs, and Rashford's runs. Bruno can come in off the side there and he can find people with a back post ball for Casemiro coming in. As you can see, he could run straight in the back post. You can see he can cut back in and find Bruno or Rashford or Eriksen on the edge. So that'll be nice. And then you've got Sancho playing his natural game on the right where he can now link up with Rashi and that. And then, when we're defending, we win the ball and any of those boys look up, Rashi is just running in behind. That's what we want to see. And I think this is the side that's going to start. Obviously, the only difference between me and you is Lindelof for last year. And look at the goal. It's the same people, but just the opposite way around. I said Sancho and Rashford you scored, and you've gone Rashford and Sancho.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not saying that's the order they're going to score in here. I know where you're coming from with the Malacia at left back. Do you know what? Now, after seeing the last team, I can see it. I see where you're coming from. I just think Luke Shaw gives us far more attacking options on the left back position than Malacia, without losing anything in defence as well, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But listen, I know what you're saying. I can easily see either way. Lindelof at centre-back is probably more of a liability than Malacia at left-back, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So, and he's not a liability. Lindelof's a good player. I'm just saying.
Good, I just think he'll go with that just because of the athleticism of the other player. I think Shaw can be less, like he actually don't have to do as much running up and down from that centre-back spot. And remember, that's why we did so well against Haaland, because we had them two in the back. So I just feel like if there's ever a weakness against a very good attack, it's Lindelof. If I was looking at the back four and I wanted to go up against anyone, I'm getting on Lindelof all day. That's how I would think in my mind. I've got him. No matter what happens, I'll beat him in the air. If I'm one-on-one with him, I'll take him. Then you look at Varane, you think, may not beat him in the air, and he's very quick. So can I beat him on the floor? It's a can I? I feel confident, but it's not like I've got the better of him no matter what. With Lindelof, I feel like I would have, but different. You know what I mean. And Malacia, having that pace up and down, that's tough to beat. He's a rash, even though he's a bit makes a couple mistakes. He's still a rash with crazy energy. It's like a better Fred kind of thing.
I know this one saying. I know exactly what you're saying, mate. I agree with you. It could go either or for me. Either or, I have no problem with either.
You got to answer this one.
What about in mind? Yeah, I won't lie. All jokes aside, Dave, I think Weghorst starts. I think this is my team that I've picked today. I think that Ten Hag starts Weghorst. I do. I think you see Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right, Bruno through the centre, Weghorst up top. Like I can see it. For some reason, Ten Hag likes Weghorst's energy. I don't even.
You're right, though. He might put him in the hole, put Rashford up front, Bruno on the right, and drop Sancho.
Yeah, or that.
But wait a minute, exactly then he'll be on the left.
No, drop Eriksen. You lose Eriksen, is what you lose. You lose,
he ain't going to drop Eriksen after this whole season doing well.
No, I can't see it. But I think I can see Weghorst up top. I can see it as a straight replacement. Yeah, that's got a better shout, Steve. I can see it sound like that as well. Goes all the way.
So do you think that Rashford starts on the left, Weghorst up front, and Bruno on the right, and then second half you got Sancho who comes on for maybe a Fred. Eriksen drops back.
No, I don't think Fred plays.
Garnacho comes on the left. What?
No, I don't think Fred plays. I think you have our standard midfield three of Eriksen, Casemiro. This is what I think Ten Hag does. Casemiro, Bruno, and Eriksen. No legs there. You have Sancho on the left. Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right, and Weghorst just through the centre.
We're getting overrun and we're getting beat with that side.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's not even a question. Like that side there, we're getting slapped all over the place.
I agree with
you. I hope not.
But it's just, listen, until recently, he's picked Weghorst in every game. It's only since Martial came back that he hasn't been picking him in every game. Now Martial's gone again.
Does he go back to the same? Yeah,
does he go straight back to it? You know what I mean? I hope not, mate. I really do. Like, I don't mind Weghorst. We take the mick out of him. For what he is, he does a job. There's no two ways about it.
So, you know what? You're right. He could just swap Weghorst for Martial.
Yeah.
And that'd be it.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see that. I can, honestly, man. But I just hope it isn't. No, I just really hope it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's done what he came in to do, he said. He said, will he stay next season? He says, I don't know. I'm just thinking Just take off the I don't, and then you'll know. Yeah. So anyway, this is why I've got this shirt on today, because I need all the red I can get. That's number one. And number two, I will be on Stretford Paddock today for the watch along. So
you got yes, boy.
Yeah, he said, look, mate, we haven't lost since I've been on the Stretford Paddock. Every Stretford Paddock one I've been on, we ain't really lost. So he's like, you make sure you're on the final for this. I'm like, I'll be there. Don't worry, I'll be there. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's hope we can get the win. Obviously, these outside things don't mean anything. Me being there means we're gonna win. Don't mean nothing.
It does. You said it now, Nate. You said it. You're the good luck charmer. You better be there early, bruv. You know what I mean?
I'm wearing this shirt for a reason.
Bushy-tailed, mate. I want to see.
It's just the support in it. It's the support side of myself that thinks, I'm supporting them as much as I can. And you know, have you ever watched a game, when you're watching, you're like, nobody talk to me. I need full concentration for United to win.
My missus will tell you this. Like, if I'm halfway through a game and she walks in, I'm like, no. I don't care. Dinner, that can wait. Dishwasher, that can wait, love. Like, no, not right now. I need full focus.
You see, you watch across the screen, they just bloody scored because of you.
Yeah, that as well. I call her honestly, she's in my phone as the omen of defeat, mate. Because the amount of time, this is more cricket to be fair, but the amount of time she'd ring me and be like, "What's the cricket score?" I'd be like, "We've just lost 2 wickets, love." Because you've, bad luck omen, mate. Bad luck omen. You ain't allowed in the room with me like the play.
Oh my gosh! Look, the match reaction will be a bit later because I will be taking my time getting back home. But we'll definitely be doing one. Obviously, if we win, we'll definitely be doing a very long one. If we don't win, I might not be doing one today. It might be tomorrow.
5 minutes from your car. 5 minutes from your car. No, that's it. If we lose,
I might see you on Thursday. I might see you guys on Thursday. If we get battered, I ain't doing nothing. Nah, we'll see. We'll see, guys. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Garth, for giving your obviously opinions on what you think is going to happen. And let's see what happens. We need all the help we can get. Get your red shirts on. Get the TV on. Or get down to Wembley if you're going as well. And let's get this win. We've got last comment here from Steve. He says, the amount of times I walk out of the room and the goal is scored is ridiculous. Yeah, it happens all the time.
I had that as well. Sod's law, mate. Yeah. Step downstairs, to a cigarette, mate. Boom. Man United scored. It happens all the time. So.
But anyway, thanks a lot. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.